Well, welcome back to the Pro Body Lifestyle Podcast. We are your hosts, Janusz and this is my lovely wife, Melissa Prochuk.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast.
So last week we did a podcast where Melissa, she went through her favorite quotes and we kind of explained a little bit about why they're her favorite quotes and how that relates to your training, nutrition, and lifestyle. And so today it's my turn. I'll be sharing my quotes that some of the things that have stuck with me over the years and just what is speaking to me right now. And yeah, we'll talk about why I chose those and hopefully they resonate with you guys.
Yeah, I'm excited because obviously Janusz and I say these quotes to each other multiple times throughout most weeks, but sometimes I hear him in here with clients in the gym and I hear these quotes and how he brings them into conversations. And sometimes it's just that right quote that you need to hear at the right time that sparks that motivation for the person. And like someone else may hear that and not be motivated, but someone else, it's exactly what they needed to hear. So I really hope that today one of those quotes that Janusz is going to say may motivate you, because I actually don't know what he's going to talk about today. It's going to surprise me as well. And I hope one of them motivates me as well.
And by the way, guys, like these are actually not the ones that I've mastered. These are often like the reason they stick out to me is because they're the ones that I'm working through right now. And so that's why they're holding a place in my heart and in my mind right now. It's because these are the things that I need to hear and I need to do to work on my lifestyle and my mindset.
If we were to do this podcast, like maybe in a few months' time, the quotes will probably be so different.
Yeah. So I'm going to rip straight into it. So the first one this has been mine since I started the personal training business, probably like 10 years ago. It's, if it doesn't challenge you, it's not going to change you.
I always love that one. Why do you love it so much?
Now, I love this one because it's not just with fitness and with lifestyle and with health, but this quote, like if it doesn't challenge you, it's not going to change you, relates to every area of your life. Like if there's anything that's feeling easy, that's comfortable, then it's not going to change you. There's not going to be any change because you can already do it. Where the only things that can actually change your lifestyle, that will change your life, that will change your business, are the things that challenge you, that make you break out of your comfort zone, that make you need to adapt and change.
Yeah, I love that. I personally love this quote. I'm so glad you put it in here because I'm always telling people that whenever life starts to get not boring, but kind of just very stagnant, or I feel very comfortable, I don't feel challenged, I actually hate it because that's how I know that I'm staying within my comfort zone. I'm kind of just getting used to where I'm currently at and I'm not stepping into that next season that I'm needing to step into, because as human beings, we constantly need to be growing. We constantly need to be challenging ourselves, just like we do in the gym. We need to constantly be challenging our muscles to grow. We need to do that in life as well. So whenever I feel like I haven't been nervous for a while, or I haven't, not wanted to do something, like because I'm like, oh, it's going to be scary, I haven't done that ever, I want to step into those things because I know always once I pass over that hump, over that bridge, I always feel like I've become a new version of myself. And I love that. I love that feeling. It's like this adrenaline feeling of going, oh, I did something hard. What else can I do because I've done this?
Yeah. The other thing I really love this quote for, if it doesn't challenge you, it's not going to change you, is because often you hear people say that, when they're going down a path and something starts to get really hard, they sometimes think, oh, this is the wrong path for me. Oh, this is the universe, or this is life telling me that I shouldn't do this because it's so hard. Where they forget that you need hard to change. Like something being hard, challenging is the only way that you can change. And I love that because it teaches you that in the gym. Like your muscles literally adapt to what you're doing and they change to be able to do what you're doing. So if you get in the gym and you start exercising, if you train easy, your muscles don't change, because if you already have enough muscle to do the exercise, then why does your body need to build more muscle? It doesn't need to change. Where the only way that you build muscle in the gym is by pushing yourself to failure, like lifting weights that are hard, like picking weights that are challenging for you. Because when you challenge the muscle, then it's going to tell your brain, hey, that was really hard. That was really challenging. We need to adapt so that we can do this better in the future. And so anytime you feel pressure, anytime you feel challenges in life, you need to lean into those areas and push hard. Or anytime something's feeling easy. So if you're in the gym and your workouts have been feeling good lately, you might need to increase the weight a little bit or do more reps. Like just make sure that whatever you do, you make it challenging. So you don't always have to add weight. Like adding weight is one way to make it more challenging, but you can add more reps and you can make it challenging that way. Or you can add more time. So instead of doing the reps quickly, maybe slow them down so you can challenge yourself with tempo. So you just need to challenge yourself in any way to continue to adapt. Otherwise, once your body feels like it can already do the thing, it's not going to continue to change anymore.
Yeah, that's a really great point, because I feel like people forget that our brains are designed to not want to be challenged. It doesn't want to feel discomfort. So it's always going to convince you to not go down that path. And that's why a lot of people, especially in the health and fitness area, go, oh, like this feels hard, I better step back. Where that's exactly when you need to step forward. And I look back on my life, for example, and anything that has ever something great has come from like something else has always been from a challenging moment. Like I think about all the big pivotal moments of my life. Before those pivotal moments happened, there was always a challenge before it. There was always something that I felt a bit hesitant to do. There was always something that made me step from Melissa version A to Melissa version B. And it was just uncomfortable. But I look back now and I'm so thankful I pushed through, because then it gets me to that next version of Melissa and I was able to change and then experience the life that I'm supposed to experience instead of staying exactly the same. So really love that quote.
The next one that I've written here is something that I've coached a lot of my clients who've lost like over 30, over 40 kilos of body weight. It's that you don't have to lose 20 kilos. You just need to lose 1 kilo 20 times. And this one, it's just a little reframe. It may sound like, oh, that's exactly the same thing. Like you just said the same thing. But I like to phrase this to my clients because sometimes when they have a lot of weight to lose, like if somebody's, 150 kilos, 200 kilos, and they're trying to lose like over 50, sometimes even 100 kilos of body weight, like that can be super daunting trying to accomplish a massive goal like that. Or for example, when we ran the marathon, like that's like 40 kilometers of running. That's massive. It's daunting. But same thing, it's the reframe of like, you don't have to run 40 kilometers. You just need to run 1 kilometer 40 times. And so just breaking it down like that is just like, okay, when I ask people like, oh, do you think you can lose, 30, 40 kilos? They're like, nah, I don't think I can do that. I'm like, okay, well, can you lose 1? Like, do you think you can lose 1 kilo? If I tell you to lose 1 kilo, they're like, oh yeah, I can lose 1 kilo. That's doable. I'm like, cool. Well, you only have to do that 20 times. That's how you lose 20 kilos. Yeah. And then it was funny when I told my client this, they're like, oh yeah, I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, I think we overwhelm ourselves with our big goals. And I hate when people get overwhelmed and they say, oh, like, don't think too big. You can definitely have big goals in life and big goals that you want to achieve, even within the next year. I feel like we all underestimate what we're capable of. But when you have that big goal, it's so important to break it down like you do, because it is just focusing on the 1 kilo. Or even, oh, I want to hip thrust 200 kilos. It's like, okay, well, let's start with the first 5 kilos and just incrementally like build that over the weeks, which is going to be incredible. But with any goal, like, even outside of the gym, like Janusz was saying, it's like running a marathon, or in business, it's like, oh, I'm earning $100 a week. It's like, okay, well, let's focus on the next few weeks, building up to another client or building up to something else. Or on social media, if you're trying to build your social media presence right now, it's like, oh man, how embarrassing. I only have 10 people following me. I'm like, that's great. 10's great. 10 people that you get to influence, but let's focus on next week influencing 15 people. And like, you just keep growing from there. And I think if you focus more on the compound effect of your goal and all the habits that you're doing over time, eventually you will get to where you need to be.
Yeah. And I love, like, this is very similar to what you've heard with pregnancy. So like I was saying with the marathon, with, trying to run 40 kilometers, it's like, it's pretty daunting. But anytime you want to quit, it's like, okay, just 1 more kilometer. Let me just do 1 more kilometer. Then you just run that next kilometer. It's like, okay, now 1 more kilometer again. And so you just keep setting that bar a little bit further. And so what you were saying with pregnancy, what was the thing about managing the pain for?
Oh, yes. So like with like learning about birth and everything like that right now, I hear a lot of people in birth, like I watch these birth vlogs and they're saying the best way to look at contractions is to think like, I can do something hard for a minute. Like I can last this contraction for a minute. Like I can do anything hard for that kind of time frame. And yes, contractions can look longer. I totally understand that and all different things, but realistically, that's how it kind of looks. So if you, like, I already practice now and think in my head, okay, when I'm in that contraction, I want Janusz to remind me that, hey, you can do hard things for a short period of time and then you get to relax after. I think kind of having that effect of just focusing on one contraction is one contraction closer to meeting our baby. I think is going to be the best way to look at it, instead of going, oh my gosh, like I could be in labor for 24 hours or 48 hours. It's like, no. Let's focus on one contraction at a time.
Yeah, it's just focus on the next thing. So
Yeah,
it's
the
like,
next step.
if it's something to do with like outlasting time is the hard thing, then it's like, okay, let me last another minute.
Well, I did that for the marathon. I remember people
Yeah.
being like, how did you do 42 kilometers? I'm like, well, obviously we trained, but I remember just being like, oh, okay, another 5Ks. And I would look at it more as like a park run. Or I remember when we used to train, the loop that we used to run was like 1.5 Ks or something like that. And like, so I would be like, okay, let's just do one more loop. And I would picture myself where I was on that loop as I was running. And just if you break things down into your brain, I feel like it's easier for you to comprehend this kind of pain that you're in. If you feel like you're in pain or you're in discomfort, it's like, it's only for a short period and then you can move on to the next step. Instead of going, oh man, you're going to be in pain for the next 4 hours. It's like, oh, that's not fun.
Or it reminds me of Ed Milet's book. I think it's The Power of One More.
Yeah, great book.
And so he was talking about in that one, his dad was trying to give up smoking or drinking, I think it was. And whenever he felt like he was giving up and he just wouldn't be able to do it, he was just, okay, just one more day.
One more day.
I'll
Yeah,
give it
that's
up for
right.
just one more day. And then he would just last one more day because he's like, oh, it's pulling, like I feel the desire, I need to do it. Something bad's happening. He's like, just do one more day. So he just does one more day, goes to bed, wakes up the next day. And then obviously he can just do one more day again. And
I love that.
But often the feeling passes and eventually obviously you build the habit and the discipline and it gets easier and easier. So I find, this quote, like you don't have to lose 20 kilos. You just need to lose 1 kilo 20 times. It's a great way to reframe any goal that you're trying to achieve. And then what you need to do is instead of focusing on the outcome of like, oh, I got to lose 20 kilos, you just break it down and you just focus on that 1 kilometer, that 1 kilo you have to lose. And if anything, you can break it down into the steps to lose that kilo. So for most of our clients, it's like, okay, don't even worry about the weight loss. We just want to give you a plan that's going to achieve the weight loss and you just need to focus on that plan daily. So it might be like, okay, weigh in daily so that we can get your weekly average data. Eat in a calorie deficit for that day and move your body for that day. And if you just focus on doing those 3 things each day, you will achieve and you'll lose a kilo a week. You'll, lose 20 kilos over the time and you don't even have to focus on losing the weight. You just need to lose 1 kilo 20 times.
Yeah, love that. Very good quote.
The next quote I have is very simple. Do it tired. Now, this is one that is resonating with me right now because we're about to have a baby.
I'm already tired.
In October. And so anytime I'm tired right now, that's what I'm telling myself is do it tired. Like I don't have to feel good in the workout. Like if I've woken up because I've, had a little 4-hour sleep or something like that, I still do the workout. I just do it tired. If I've had a massive work day and you're coming home from work and you need to go to the gym, you're already tired. So whether you go to the gym or you don't go to the gym, either way, you're tired for that afternoon. So you might as well go to the gym and you'll probably end up getting extra energy anyway.
Yeah.
But the quote is just do it tired. Like whatever needs doing, just do it tired. You don't have to feel good. You don't have to have heaps of energy. You just need to give whatever you have right then and there to the task you need to do. So instead of putting things off to other days, other times, I'm trying to just get in the habit. And again, guys, I'm not perfect at this right now. I'm just trying to get in the habit and the ritual of just like, okay, just do it tired. Like whatever I've put on my calendar for this week, if life's throwing me curveballs, if I didn't sleep enough, if I'm like super tired for whatever reason, it's like, just do it.
Yeah, I find whenever I'm tired, which is most often, like it's very frequent these days.
Common.
Yes, very common. But I find as soon as I do the action I've been thinking of doing, it actually brings me more energy. Like for example, if I am tired and I have such a big to-do list, I usually start with the smallest thing. And back in the day, I would actually have an opposite reaction to this. I'd say to do the hardest things first and then it will lead you into the easiest things. But recently, because it seems so overwhelming, I'm like, just start with the smallest things. And I know for myself, cleaning soothes me. So like what I usually do is I go, okay, just make your bed, because that action is going to lead into you going, oh, okay, I did that. Now I want to do more things. And I start going, okay, now let's just walk to your computer and start with just answering client messages and then get into the big program writing, then get into all the marketing stuff, then get into all those harder tasks. Like that's how I kind of approach it. And I find as soon as I do that, my energy starts to ramp up. But the more you think about it, you're actually wasting energy. It's like that decision fatigue of going, I'm already exhausted. I should be doing this. And then you decide to relax and you actually feel guilty for relaxing because you're like, I should be doing this right now. So you don't even enjoy the relaxation. I would rather, yes, there's a time to relax, but I would rather get all the stuff done I need to get done and then actually relax and go, oh, I actually can just be right now because I've done the work I need to do. And now I can fully switch off without thinking of doing other things. So I like that quote. So simple. It reminds me of sometimes when I just say to us, I'm like, don't think, just do. And it sounds so brutal where it's like, okay, you need to actually think, Melissa. But it's like, no. Just follow the plan. Don't think, just do.
Yeah. And it's like the quote you had last week, right?
Yeah.
Follow the plan, not your mood. It's really the same quote reworded, like just do it tired. It's like whatever your plan is, don't let your mood or your energy levels dictate whether you go to the gym or not. It's like if you've put the time aside to do that, you just do it tired.
Yeah.
Because just like hopefully hygiene, that's not a great one, but like let's say if your child's hungry, you still feed them.
Yeah, you're like, sorry guys, not today.
Yeah, you're not like, I'm too tired to go cook dinner and do all of this. It's like, just do it tired.
See, that's what blows my mind a lot with our clients who have kids is I always remind them, I'm like, you would cook, like for example, when like people are giving their children food for the first time, it's usually not M&Ms. It's like beautiful purees that they've, blended together with all the beautiful fruits and vegetables, all the stuff. Like it's perfect because it's their first bit of food and they always make sure their kids get to soccer practice, they get their homework done, everything. But when it comes to you, you go, oh, okay, well, who cares? I'll just eat whatever's left over and I'll just see if I have time to work out. But it's like, yes, I love that you put your kids first and that's so great, but you've also got to try and put that energy towards yourself as well.
Yeah. And this is honestly the difference between people who look at other people and they're like, oh, wow, that person has they're a fit person versus me where I'm like, I'm trying to get fit. I feel like an imposter, you know what I mean? The difference is that somebody who's fit, who's just like always fit, always active, always doing exercise, they're not more motivated than you. Like I would say that majority of their workouts, they actually don't want to go to the gym. Like this reminds me of like when I was doing judo and I would get into the state squad training. We're training like literally every day or every second day. And I don't want to every day have to, go after school and wrestle people for 3 hours. Like I didn't want to do that. But I would just get forced by mum and I would just do it tired. Like I would just show up and then as I'm doing the warm up, yeah, I'm tired but the moment I start wrestling someone, I have to wake up. I have to get into it.
Yeah.
And so this is what like successful people do is that they're successful, not because they're more motivated than you, but just because they have just developed the grit and the determination and the habit of just doing things tired and just giving their 100% on what it looks like for that day. So if you've only got 40% in the tank right now of motivation, then give 100% of that. Just you give the 40%. And that's all you do. And so that's really the habit you need to develop is just realizing that no one has 100% motivation. No one wants to do things at all times. Like sometimes I do want to train during the day, but then by the time I have the time to train, I don't want to train anymore.
I know.
Right? So I'm trying to start training now in the morning because it fits my schedule better and I can consistently do it. But the problem is that almost every single morning that I'm waking up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. to do my workout before my own clients, I'm tired. Like I don't want to train. Like I want to train, but not at 4 a.m.
Yeah, but it's good to learn.
I'm still tired.
Yeah, it's good to learn this grit now because like I like that we're putting the work in now and we're fighting through this exhaustion. Of course, again, there's time to rest and we definitely rest, don't you worry. But there are times when you have to push through and go, okay, well, I'm not going to allow my mood, my exhaustion to dictate what I'm going to do right now because I know a lot of people already say to me, oh, Mel, it's going to look different when you have kids. Like you have no idea. And I'm like, okay, you can either project that on me or the practice that I'm doing now of trying to push through even when I'm tired, showing up even when I don't want to is all practice for when it's game day, which is when the kids are like our child comes. And I'm sure when we're up all night that I'm not going to feel like getting in here and doing my postpartum recovery or anything like that. But I'll do it because I know the benefits of it. And I know that if I just show up, I'll be so thankful that I did that. So it's learning that kind of skill and you can take it into every area of your life.
Yeah. And look, there's some areas that you might be really good at doing this, right? You might be really good at doing it tired for some areas of life. Like for us, for example, we're good at doing it in our fitness, in our workouts. Mm-hmm. But then for us, like for me especially, when I'm trying to record content,
yeah.
Like if I'm tired, if I'm not motivated, if I'm not feeling it, I just skip it. Like I don't do it.
Yeah.
Where over the next few months, this is where I want you guys to almost hold me accountable to it, where I just want to start sticking to, just like we've done with this podcast, where we've committed to doing one podcast a week, no matter what. Like today we're tired, we're doing it anyway. I I'm going to commit to doing that with my social media too, where it's like, okay, I'm just going to, create content to do 2 or 3 posts a week, and I will just do it tired. Whether I'm feeling motivated and I want to do it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And if I'm not feeling motivated, I'm just going to do it anyway. So find the areas in your life where you might be falling short. So for me, for example, the social media, and then just commit to doing it tired. Commit to not needing the perfect circumstances, not needing the perfect energy levels, the perfect mood. Just commit to just taking the actions and just showing up in the smallest way. It doesn't have to be the best workout. You just need to just do a workout.
Yeah.
And so you just do it tired.
Love that. What's next quote?
Next quote. This is probably a quote that most people have heard before, but I like to reframe it because I've realized it's not true. So the quote is that knowledge is power.
Okay. What's your reframe?
Well, my reframe is the opposite, that knowledge is not power. Knowledge is only potential power until you put it into action.
Yes. Like you can do, sorry, do you want to explain that?
Well, I think it's obviously not true because like we all know all of these things, right? We all learn, we all read books, we all do all of these things, listen to podcasts about what we should do. We all know we got to eat better. We know, and you could even know the best meal plans to eat. But until you actually put it into action, it's only potential power.
Yes, exactly right. Like we can all read the books, watch the YouTube videos, go do the courses, watch, be motivated by other people and then be like, yeah, like I just got back from that conference. Yes, let's do it. But unless you actually put the work in and actually get things done, nothing's going to change. And I think the number one thing that I always get quoted by new clients to me on our first call is they go, oh, Mel, I know what I need to do. I'm just not doing it. And that's exactly what this quote is because everyone knows what they need to do. Yeah. Most people want to lose weight.
And that's the easy part.
Exactly. They're like, oh, well, I know I need to eat better and eat less. I know I need to move my body more. I'm like, great. So what's stopping you? They go, well, I don't know. I'm just not doing it. I'm like, well, you need to actually put it into action. This is actually reminding me, I'm going to get it up now. So maybe Janusz, you want to take over. Yeah. But I put a quote up on my Instagram story today. And that's reminded me, but let me get it up and you keep going.
I was like, yeah, you can take over. And she continues to talk.
Sorry. No, actually, you know what? I do have it already up, so I might as well just say it. Go. I put this quote up today and I wrote it on my threads and I was like, oh, I need to share it on Instagram. And it was just, I don't want to hear about your hopes and dreams. I want to hear about your decisions and actions. That's what matters the most. So I love that. That kind of connects because I was listening to a podcast this morning and they were talking about this, how we can all have our vision boards. We can all have you feel like you're productive when you're doing your to-do list or you're doing another course and you sign up to uni again. All these things are great things. But unless you actually put it into action and all the knowledge you've gained, use it, what's the point? You might as well not have done it in the first place.
Yeah. Another part that comes off this one is that like what separates people is not good intentions because everybody has good intentions. But what separates people is actually the actions that they take.
Yep.
So, heaps of people, they don't intentionally mean to be mean. They don't intentionally hate people. They don't intentionally hurt people. Like some people there are out there. But what I'd say is that majority of people have the intentions of being loving, have the intentions of being kind, have the intentions of being a good mum, have the intentions of like if you have a mum or parents that has just really treated you badly throughout your life and you've had a horrible upbringing, I bet that they actually had great intentions. But the problem is that everyone has good intentions, but we don't all have actions because actions is what separates people.
Well, this is like our clients, for example. I have so many clients who are like, oh, why is your other client on social media? Like I see them getting great results. And it's like, the reason they're getting great results is because we've given them the same knowledge, but what they do is they ask questions. So they gain the knowledge from us. They continuously ask questions, but they apply it. They just take it into they put it into the action and they are consistent with it. Where most people are going, oh, Mel, like after we do our check-ins, they're like, oh, well, thank you so much. Like I feel so motivated. And then for the next 4 days, I look on their app and I'm like, but they haven't done anything. What do you mean you were motivated? Did I not get through to you? And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, another week. Sorry, I promise next week. I'm like, you can keep promising yourself, or you can finally just stop and start finally gaining what you want to gain.
Yeah. It's just remembering that action is what separates people with good intentions from people who have good intentions but end up doing the wrong things. So loving people are loving people because they do loving actions. Kind people are kind people because they do kind actions. Fit people are fit people because they do fit actions.
Yeah.
Healthy people do healthy actions. So whatever you want to be, like whatever type of person you want to be, you need to, get all the knowledge for it. But just remember that knowledge is actually only potential power until you put it into action. So figure out what you need to do, and then you need now put it to action to create it in real life.
Yeah, you don't just become those people. Like I know a lot of our clients sometimes feel like imposters because they're like, oh, I'm not an athlete. Like I'm not a gym person. This feels so weird. I'm like, you're not going to feel like it until you just start doing the habits of that person consistently. And then eventually you'll look back and go, oh, I'm not doing the lazy person actions anymore. I am the athlete version of myself. But it doesn't just happen overnight. You can't just look in the mirror and be like, I am an athlete. It's like, no. You need to actually show up as that athlete every single day until you become them.
Yeah, and you're not going to feel good straight away either. Like you're not going to lose weight straight away. You're not going to build muscle straight away. You're not going to feel good. Like your mood may not lift straight away. Like we talked about, I think I was on the last podcast, how we were feeling demotivated a few weeks ago, and we had a bit of a talk, and we decided to change our habits and our routines because we knew we can't just talk about it. We need to put it into action. And so we've started waking up earlier. We've started doing the workouts earlier in the day when we have more energy.
Yeah.
We've started doing those things, but we don't feel good yet.
Yeah, hasn't
Like it
switched over
still
yet.
feels like we're imposters.
We're still
It
in that
feels-
discomfort.
yeah.
We're still in that zone of like, ugh, like I just want to go back to sleeping in and doing absolutely nothing. But that's the lazy version of us, and we didn't feel good as those people.
No.
So we've got to keep showing up as our best selves, which is what we're doing.
And that's why I link it back to that other quote. Just do it tired. Just decide, like, again, knowledge is not power. It's only potential power until you put it
Yes.
into action. So figure out what you need to do to achieve the goals that you want. Create a rough plan, and then now put it into action. And then when you start putting it into action, realize that when you start, you're not going to feel good amazing. Maybe you get a little burst of motivation the first week you do it. But week 2, you're going to feel tired. You're going to feel demotivated again. And that's when you stick to the plan despite your mood, or you just do it tired.
Look, I'm really hoping that like mothers aren't lying to me when they say that pregnancy tired is worse than newborn tired, because I'm really holding on to that. I would rather the newborn tired right now, but I'll let you know if there's a difference, because pregnancy tired is a fatigue that's so crazy because you can sleep all you want. You still feel like you've just been hit by a truck, and it's just insane.
Well, our little baby is just like
Yeah.
sucking up your blood.
I know.
Taking all your
Which I
nutrients,
love.
growing.
Super grateful, blessed every single day, but it doesn't make me go, oh, I love being tired. I'm like, well, no, like I'd love some energy right now. So I'm really holding on to that. If you're a mum, please tell me that. Comment down below if newborn tired's better. What's your next quote?
Yeah, the next quote is another one that most people have probably heard before. And it's that you're an average of the top 5 people that you're surrounded by.
I always love this quote.
I love this quote too, because it's really talking about peer pressure here,
100%.
right? It's talking about peer pressure. And we always look at peer pressure as it's always a negative thing,
Yes.
right? But there's also positive peer pressure.
Yep.
Where just like negative peer pressure can pressure you into doing, habits that are not the direction of your goals. So things that are unhealthy for your body, doing drugs, doing alcohol when you don't want to drink. You're like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to drink because I'm trying to lose weight. You go out and all your friends are drinking and they're like, no, come drink with us. And you're like, oh, okay, I peer pressured into it. Just how there's a negative version to peer pressure, which is just negative habits, you've got positive peer pressure.
I like that. That's a really good point.
And so if you can, like one of the cheat codes is if you can start to surround yourself with people who are good in the areas you're trying to get better in, then it can peer pressure you in a positive way to set up and to move up to the standard that they're going in. And so this isn't about like just finding the top 5 people in your life,
and being like,
just
okay,
being
guys,
like,
let's
okay,
get in
I'll
a
aim-
group.
yeah.
We're all going to influence each other.
Yeah, because you might find that there's different people for different areas of your life.
Yes. That's
Like
a
there's
good
some
point.
people who are amazing for fitness and health. And if you hang around them, it's going to make it easier to be fit and healthy. Then there's some people who are amazing for motivation, working hard, business, ambition. They might be who you go hang around for that type of thing.
Yeah, it's good to say that because you want to make sure you're influenced in the right areas from the right people. And like you said, like there's different areas that people can influence you in. I know we have different people for different areas of our life, relationship, business, etc., that we love to be spoken life into, but I hardly take advice or allow people's negative opinions to impact me when I go, oh, I actually don't, not that I don't care about their opinion, but I don't want the way that you parent, or I don't want the business that you run, or I don't want the life that you live. So it's actually okay. I'm not going to get influenced by you, but I will ask people that I truly look up to and go, oh, like they're ahead of us. They're exactly where we're going in that area. I definitely want you to feed life into me, but you have to surround yourself with those people. But a lot of people might be listening right now and going, oh, but Mel and Janusz, like I work in a really negative environment, or my family at home is really negative, etc. It's really hard. How do I get out of that? They're the people that influence me the most. If you're stuck in that kind of situation, instead of looking at it in a stuck situation, this is where you have to look on the outside of like, okay, what am I listening to? Like what podcast am I listening to? Who am I following on social media? What's the algorithm actually showing me right now? Because you can really create that for yourself to go, okay, I want my social media and anything I'm being influenced by, what I'm listening to, etc., what I'm watching. I want all of those things to make sure that they are influencing me to be my best self. So for example, we're not going to, play like, swearing music to our children, right? Like, because we don't swear. We will be playing, beautiful Taylor Swift G-rated songs. And it's like, that's what we want our children to be influenced by. The ones where she
doesn't swear.
Yes, she does swear now.
Yeah.
And do you know what I mean? Like we make sure that we listen, the podcast that we listen to, when people ask for our opinion, I'm like, oh, like ours is just getting yelled at pretty much and like getting motivated because. In a positive way.
Yeah.
Because we want that. We want people to go, you're just being lazy. You've got to do this, this, this. I'm like, great. I've been thinking small. I want to think bigger, because sometimes people around you, and there's nothing wrong with this, your friends may be on a different path where they're not thinking massive things or whatever it is. Like people have different goals and may be so different to yours. So instead of going, sorry, I can't be friends with you, you don't have big goals. It's like, okay, I'm going to be friends with you, but I'm going to be influenced by the podcast or the people that I look up to in that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I love that. And this is another one of those quotes where this is one of those quotes that I like to amend as well. So the original quote is that you're an average of the top 5 people you're surrounded by. What I actually believe is that you're an average of the top 5 influences you're influenced by. So just because you're in an environment where the people around you may not be working towards your goals, they may be unhealthy people. You may be in a family that is completely unhealthy. Nobody else is trying to lose weight. Nobody else is going to the gym. Like you might have people around you that nobody is working towards the same goals that you have, and that's fine. But just because they're around you doesn't mean they have to be the biggest influences of your life.
Yeah.
And so nowadays we have so many books, so many podcasts, so many audiobooks. There's so many different things you can listen to. So now you can almost hand select. And to be honest, if we're all honest, we spend more time on social media than we do listening to your friend. Like you might hang out with your friend for an hour or two, but then you're on the phone for 18 hours.
Yeah.
Right, throughout the week. So if you change what your algorithm is on Instagram to be more fitness things, to be more health things, more recipes, if you change the types of podcasts you're listening to, the types of books you're listening to, then what you're doing is you're actually increasing the influence of those people that you're listening to. And you can choose to listen to whoever you want for those different areas. So you can start listening, even if nobody in your life is good with finance, you can start listening to all of these podcasts about finance. Find some great books about finance. You can start like becoming somebody who is surrounding themselves with good influences about saving money, investing, like learning those things. Just like you can do with health. You can learn about health, nutrition, fitness, training, by surrounding yourself with the influences that you choose and you want to do. So don't sit there thinking, oh, well, I got the wrong people around me. It's not my fault. This sucks.
Yeah.
Like be proactive.
I love that.
Choose what influences you want to speak into your life. And then just be okay with like another part of this is realizing who you take what advice from. So if somebody has a great relationship and they're really good relationships, take relationship advice from them because they're qualified in that area. But if they're overweight, unhealthy, they don't go to the gym, they don't train, and they start giving you fitness advice or how to eat, they're not qualified to give you that advice because they have no idea what they're talking about. Versus if you have another friend who is jacked, they've got muscle, they've lost weight, like they've gone through a weight loss journey, then their advice about weight loss, you might want to listen to a little bit more, right? Because they're a little bit more qualified in that area. So just realize it was like what you were saying before. If you don't want their life, don't listen to their advice in that area that they're trying to give you advice.
I find as well, those are really great points you just said. When I'm influenced by people I don't want to be influenced by, it's usually like I get impacted by them. It's usually because I haven't been getting influenced by people I really aspire to be like, and I've really stopped myself from growing and learning. And that kind of goes to one of your other quotes. I think it was the first one about you always want to be challenging yourself. Sometimes when I'm not challenging myself, I allow people who I don't want to be speaking into my life to speak into my life. And then I find I look down at my life and I go, wait a second, why have I been really lazy for the last 3 months? Why have I been doing this? It's not that those people forced you to do it. It's because I've been just letting those people or those movies or those podcasts feed into me and letting my algorithm dictate how I feel instead of curating everything and going, no, I'm sick of feeling this way. What am I going to listen to? And do you know that you can actually restart your algorithm on social media? I know after our miscarriage last year, I restarted my algorithm. You can do it in your settings on TikTok and Instagram. And I restarted my algorithm because I didn't want to see any baby things. And I just started looking into, I would just watch faith videos. I would just watch motivational videos. So I could just always be influenced by, when I'm scrolling, by something motivational. So I think that's something to really focus on as well, is like, if you feel like you haven't been talked life into lately, or you haven't been liking the influence you've been feeling from people, it's time to start looking around again and going, okay, well, who do I want to be influenced by? I think that's why our clients love being a part of our programs, is because, our community. It's because they start to realize, oh, this isn't just about fitness and health. Like, I actually love doing my check-ins. I love coming to do PT sessions. I love all of that. I love being, talked to from Janusz and Mel, because we talk life into our clients. Like, I really challenge my clients, and Janusz and I both vision cast for our clients what we believe in them, where maybe there's no one else in their life doing that for them.
Yeah. And that's where, again, you can choose to stay where you are in the friend circles that you have, or you can be proactive and you can do things like hiring a coach so that you have somebody who's qualified in the area of fitness and nutrition and motivation, hopefully, to speak life into you. And again, you may not talk to your friends every single day. So it's very easy to tip the scales, because if you're not hanging out with them all the time 24/7, then it's like, okay, well then you just need to be controlled when you're with them for that one coffee catch up or the dinner that you catch up together. But you can then have positive influences in your life by choosing what to listen to. And this is where, yes, you can reset your algorithm on Instagram and do all of that type of stuff. That can help. But a better thing would be to start committing to doing some learning outside of, as enjoyment. Like when you're driving, instead of listening to music, put on a podcast that's in the area of your goals. So whatever your goals are, like, find a podcast to follow in that area and start listening to it. Or choose an audiobook. Like, just quickly Google like best podcasts or best books on whatever your goal is. And it, like, now, Google and the AI and all of that is pretty good at finding the best ones.
100%.
So then you can just find one and just start reading it, start listening to it, start consuming that type of content rather than just swiping all the time. So then that way you can start to upskill in some of the areas that you're trying to achieve.
I think one last point I have is, be aware of, if you're someone who influences a lot of people, like if you're in a role where you're a teacher or you're a mum or like you're a coach or something where you're always working with people, you are in a fantastic role to influence people, but just ensure that you're not just influencing everyone. Make sure you're also getting influenced above you as well. So like, we always should be thinking more like, okay, I'm influencing people who are trying to move up to my level right now, which is amazing, but I need to make sure that I'm also filling myself up and being influenced by people that I'm also aspiring to be, so we can keep bringing each other up to each level. Otherwise, if you just keep staying in the same part and like going and influencing everyone to be better, all of a sudden they're going to take over you and you're like, why am I still stuck here? Because you haven't been being influenced by people that you want to become. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And the other thing is just committing, like, be the type of friend who doesn't bring other people down as well. So recognize that you might accidentally start doing this to other people too.
Yeah.
So when you're hanging out with other people and they're sharing their goals with you, don't be the type of person when they're trying to, shred for a certain reason or whatever it is, trying to lose weight. Don't be the type of person trying to tempt them out of their goals when they say no to drinking with you.
To be honest, I don't hang out with those people.
All of those things.
As soon as I hear negative thoughts like that, if someone goes against any goals that we have, I'm like, you're out.
Bye.
Yeah, you'll notice if I have stopped spending time with you or like saying yes to coffee dates, you know why now.
No, but you can just turn off your ears. Like, you can just smile and be like, oh, okay, that's great. That's your opinion. You know what I mean?
You're
but
wrong.
Don't start doing it yourself. So try pick yourself up if you're hanging around other people. Like, be happy for people. Encourage whatever their goals are. Even if you don't agree with them, even if like it's their goals, it's not your goals. doesn't mean you have to do it. And sometimes it triggers in us things where it's like, because we want to start eating healthier, we're trying to accidentally derail somebody else, or because we want to stop drinking alcohol, or because we're not comfortable hanging out without alcohol, we want other people to drink with us to make us feel comfortable. And so realize that that's what peer pressure is that because people are convicted by their own selves, like they're smoking, they want you to smoke because they're uncomfortable smoking, and they're like, oh, well, you're making me uncomfortable by not smoking with me. That's why they're offering you a cigarette, right? Same with alcohol. Sometimes when you might give up alcohol, like we've done, in the past 75 days where we'll give up alcohol, those types of things.
Not me. I don't
Not
drink
hard
alcohol.
for Milk. She doesn't drink. But for me, when I
I'm
was
going long
out,
75 days.
yeah, and I would go out into a social situation, and you never realize, especially in Australia, how like pressuring people are that they absolutely need you to drink for them to be comfortable. And it's just funny to see where it's like, no, come on, have fun. It's like, no, I'm going to have fun. And they're like, but just drink.
But
like,
people
you're so
just
comfortable.
Yeah, people. It's like human behavior where people just want you to be doing the same thing they're doing to make them feel better about themselves. Like even for me, we're about to go into postpartum period in 16 weeks, which is insane. And we talk about our goals with postpartum and how it's going to probably look very different to maybe what you've done in the past. Like most women, if they're blessed enough to get a whole year off, where I personally don't want to take a whole year off. I'm like, I'm kind of trying to want to work the whole way through because I love it. And I also love our child. But people go, Melissa, you have no idea. You're going to want to stop. You're going to want to do this. I get that. But I'm always telling people that you can always change your mind and why not try? But I don't take on those people's opinions because I go, that's okay. You actually didn't do that. So how would you know on the other side what it's like? I'm only allowing people who did work in like after they've had a baby. How did that look for you? And how did you navigate that? Because that's the only opinions I really care about in that area of my life. But those other friends that are against that are like, well, I will still take parenting advice from them because they're great parents, but work advice, I probably won't.
Yeah, and that just comes back to just taking advice from people who are qualified to do it. So if somebody hasn't achieved the goals that you're trying to achieve, don't take advice in that area because nutrition is the funniest thing because every human on earth eats, right? Like we all eat. And so I think because we all eat, we all feel qualified to tell people how to eat.
Yeah. Well,
and so you'll have the most unhealthy, overweight, obese person telling you how you have to eat. Like I get that. It's the funniest thing. Like they're severely obese.
No,
and yet they will tell me, are you sure you should be eating that? Like that's not healthy for you.
Well, people watch one video where it's like, don't eat eggs. They're they're going to kill you. And they're like, did you see that video about not eating eggs? I'm like, yes, we're going to, listen to this unqualified person who just made a social media video and that's it. Like that's what we're going to follow now is we can't eat eggs. And it's like, no, we're not going to take advice from you.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's like, okay, well, you're still doing drugs. You're drinking alcohol.
I know.
You're obese, like 50 kilos overweight. You're going to die from a heart attack before an egg kills you.
Oh, it really is funny. We have clients always say things to us. They're like, oh, Mel, what do you think about this? Like we saw this on social media. I'm like, let's fix the basics first before we even think about those because right now you're still drinking. You're still having a manouche pizza for breakfast. We've got many things to worry about first.
Yeah. So yeah, just to summarize that, guys, just choose the people that you want to influence you and then hang around them more or consume their content more because then you're allowing it to influence you more. So yeah, you become an average of the top 5 people you're influenced by. So if you don't want that to be your friends and family that you're hanging around, then be proactive and listen and just let other people from online who you want to influence you, like consume their content and that will help influence you.
Amen.
Now, the last one that I have, this one's from the Bible. It's my favorite quote from the Bible. It's Proverbs 16. And it's that we can make our plans, but the Lord determines our steps.
We do like this one.
Now, what I love about this one is that when you set your goals, when you make your plans, you can select what direction you want to go in. But the second part of the quote is that we can make our plans, set our goals, but the Lord will determine our steps, which is the exact way that we'll get there. So determine what direction you want to go. Set your goals in what the outcome is that you want to achieve. But then I want you to be flexible with the exact steps that you take to achieve that goal.
Yeah.
Don't be too fixated on one single plan to achieve it because the plan can change, but just keep that same direction, keep working towards the same thing.
I think people read this quote in the Bible wrong sometimes where they're like, well, if God has a plan for me, I'll just sit back and do nothing. And it's like, no. Remember, You've got to have the plan, and then the Lord will determine the steps in order to achieve that plan. But you need to actually take some steps for the Lord to guide you, right? But you also need to be spending time with God to hear him and know where he's directing you. Because I know for myself, when my time with God is limited, as in like I haven't spent time with him, I'm just focusing on my own goals and going, okay, let's do this. I look back and go, why isn't this working? I always know it's because I've been only listening to myself and putting like all the stress on myself and going in my own strength. And then I finally go, okay, God, like I feel like I'm on the right path, but like, what should I do now? And all of a sudden he'll put the right person in your direction. He'll put the right step ahead that you're like, oh, that's what I need to do. And it's not that you literally can hear him and he goes, okay, step over there and do that. It's that something will happen, or an opportunity will arise, or you will start to get better thoughts. You will like actually have time to think clearer, and you'll hear those thoughts that come into your mind are from him, where you can be like, oh, that's what I need to do. Why didn't I think of that weeks ago? It's because you were just doing what your plan was, but you weren't listening to his steps.
Yeah. No, I love that. And the other week we talked about the analogy of when you're in a boat. Right?
Yes.
So when you're in the water, you can't really plan exactly where you're going to go, right? So that's where I love this quote again, that we can make our plans, but the Lord will determine your exact steps. So I can choose the direction I want to go in, like the boat. I can go, okay, you know what? I want to go north. I want to go that direction. I can start going in that direction, but then I can't really decide the exact steps that I'm going to take. That's up to God. Because while I'm deciding the direction I'm going to go in, the tide will push me one way and I've got to course correct to keep going in that same direction. Then, I might go this way. The wind might blow me that way. And then I might go that way. So I can keep going. And God is gracious to us where he will allow us to choose our plans, to choose our goals, choose the things that we want to work towards. But then we have to be flexible enough to let him determine the exact path that we take, the exact steps that we take. So just be open to whatever you're trying to achieve right now, like continuously pivot and change the plan that you're making to achieve that goal, but just keep going in that same direction. Like the main thing is pick a goal or a direction that's important to you. And so if you find something that's important to you, you just keep working towards that. And just keep having faith that you're going to find the way to be able to achieve it, because you can achieve it.
Yeah.
And this is where it goes back to one of the best ways to achieve something is instead of asking, how can I achieve this thing? Ask, who can achieve this thing? So if you have a business, you don't have to do it. You can delegate it to somebody else who can do it, right? If I need to edit a video, I'm like, who can do that? Mel. I'll give it to Mel. Okay. But if you're trying to lose weight and you've never lost weight before, well, who knows how to lose weight? Now that's your plan. So don't try and make up the plan yourself. So if you're trying to save a lot of money or invest money or something like that, and you have no idea what you're doing with that, then instead of asking, how can I do this? Change it. Who can help me do this?
Yeah.
And then you can find the professional, find the person who's hopefully already achieved it, because then they're going to be more qualified to help you. So just because this is another thing, right? Another rabbit hole. Just because somebody has the qualifications, that humans have given them, that they're qualified to do nutrition coaching or qualified to do personal training. Firstly, a lot of coaches online aren't, but that's a whole nother side story.
We're not going to get into that.
We won't get into that. But even the ones who are qualified, like I've gone to uni, all of my classmates, they all went to uni as well. We all studied and did the same thing, but not everybody had ever gotten a six-pack before. Not everybody had lost weight before. Not everybody had helped other clients lose over 50 kilos before, right? And so not all of them, I would say, are qualified to give that advice.
Yeah.
Because while they intellectually may have studied it and they've got a qualification saying, hey, I'm qualified in finance, or hey, I'm qualified in losing weight. It's like, well, if you've never gotten anybody those results, then it's really just potential knowledge right now, like potential power. Like you've never actually got any evidence that you can help people do this. So whenever you're struggling with something, whenever you have a goal that you want to achieve, instead of just trying to make up the plan yourself and hoping that it's going to work, why don't you change the question from how can I achieve these goals to who can help me achieve these goals, and then pick somebody who's qualified in that area, meaning they've got evidence of getting themselves or getting other people that exact result that you're looking for. Because if they don't have the evidence to back up that they can help people themselves or other people do that, then you probably shouldn't do it. And I'd say for coaches, especially for personal training, for online coaches, it's probably more important, not just that they look good themselves, because sometimes people look good, but they have no idea how they did it, number one, or they're not good at coaching other people to do it. So what you want to do is you want to find somebody who has already achieved the goal that you want to achieve, but also maybe has evidence with other people, teaching other people how to achieve that exact goal, who is just like you as well.
I think you wrapped that quote up very well. So
yeah,
I have nothing left to say there.
No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to restate those quotes.
I think that's a
and
good
then
idea.
we'll wrap up this podcast. So first one, if it doesn't challenge you, it's not going to change you. So do hard things, they're going to help you grow. Second one is that you don't have to lose 20 kilos. You just need to lose 1 kilo 20 times,
Love that one.
right? Do it tired. So even if you're tired, just do it anyway. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is only potential power until you put it into action. So taking a bias towards taking action and doing things, because that's how you create it in your actual life. You're an average of the top 5 people you're surrounded by, which we changed to you're an average of the top 5 influences in your life. So take control of the influences that speak into your life. Hire a coach, listen to the podcasts, change your algorithm, read books, influence yourself in the areas you want to be influenced. And the last one, we can make our plans, but the Lord determines the exact steps that we take. So choose the direction, choose the goals that you want to achieve. If you can, get a mentor, get an advisor in that area who can help you achieve it. And that will be the easiest way to achieve the goal, rather than just aimlessly trying to run a hope plan of trying to lose weight that you have no idea how to lose.
Love it. Great quotes, Janusz. Great
Well,
episode.
guys, that was a great episode. I think that you should all go out there and live
Live the
probity
probity lifestyle.